Alright, hello and welcome back to another episode of the Center Beacon. Today we are on test server. We are going to take a look at some of the new features that are being tested. They include this weekend, basically all of the ballistic weapons are getting a special kind of fire rate increase. Basically, once you're firing for 3 seconds, they enter an accelerated firing mode, and that should help you do some more DPS. And I think this is part of their plan of making them a little more relevant, like they used to be in the early days of the game, until everyone went to plasma and rockets for the most part. They are also going to increase their effectiveness against physical shields. So the Rhino shield, some of the new robots, shields. So supposedly you'll have a better chance to kind of, put some wear on those shields, maybe break through, and have that be a little bit of a counterpoint to all the physical shields now that are in the game. The Rhino, I think the little one, the new one is called the Gareth. There's a Galahad, I think, is the medium one. And actually, you know what? The new heavy, the Lancelot, that has a physical shield that I guess is in place all the time now. It's in the front, and that absorbs a certain amount of damage, so that's a physical shield. And then there's that big red one that I always confuse with the little blue one. I think it's the Ragin or the Fujin, one of those two. And it has a physical shield. So I guess with all these physical shields, they are trying to make things slightly more relevant. Or I should say make ballistic weapons slightly more relevant, as they haven't really had an effective use, at least in the higher tiers. In the lower tiers, I'm sure they're still pretty useful, but in the higher tiers, you rarely see it. They are also, obviously I just mentioned the new 3 robots. Those are all included in the test server this weekend, so I'm going to show you a little bit of that as well. And hopefully this video will give you an idea of what's coming up. And if you're not on test server or you don't have time to play this weekend or what have you, hopefully you can use this video to kind of catch up. It's going to be a little bit longer because I'm going to sit here and fiddle with this thing. I don't know if I'm going to break it up into smaller parts and cover each individual thing being tested, or just do one big long video and you can kind of fast forward through it as you like. Not really sure what I'm going to do there, but let me go ahead and get rid of the classic infamous music here. Okay, so we took care of that. We'll leave the sound on. We'll turn our target lock on here. And let's see. Let's take a look at some of these new robots here. It seems to me that these are pretty close to being implemented. They've been testing these for the last, I would say, last month and a half, 2 months maybe even. We've had access to these new robots. I think we started with the light one, the Gareth, and we went to, they gave us the medium and the heavy. So here's the light one, you can see. We'll put that one in there. We'll do a medium and do a heavy, and then throw a couple other guys in there and see if we can get a match going. Not terribly interested in winning, although that sounds like heresy to say. But mostly just kind of want to see how the increased firing rate on these weapons works, and try to see. Usually every time, you can almost always find, every time they do a test server, you can always find something that they break, something that doesn't work right. A couple of weeks ago it was like the golem wouldn't walk upstairs or something for some crazy reason. How they do these things, I don't know. I know my Gepard is still broken from the Gepard redesign, and it still slides on hills, as actually do, I think, a number of the various robots slide on little inclines and hills. And not really sure why or when that became a thing. Never had that issue before. And it's something I wish that they would address because it's really annoying when you can't get traction and you effectively can't steer. Unless you do like a hard 90-degree turn, you don't get traction. So kind of strange. Not really sure who else I want to throw in here. Let's go, the Carnage has that new speed increase. We could do a Carnage, I suppose. And then one last one. Let's see here. How about a glorious Natasha? A gloriously underused, underappreciated, vilified even Natasha. Let's see, is this thing working? Okay. Let's arm this guy up here for a little medium range action. See how that works out. Alright. Gotta go Thunders, I think, on this guy. This guy here, let's see. What if we get a little crazy? A little crazy. Let's put an Ansel on this guy. And then we'll do... I can't help but do Terrans. Every time I see a medium slot, I just can't help myself. I gotta put a Terran on it. So I suppose we should test some of these type weapons. So let's see, what do we want to do here? Maybe we'll go Punishers on this guy. Pretty interesting hardpoint configuration. You basically have half the firepower of a Rhino and a shield. Alright, let's take a pause here for technical difficulty. Okay, I think we're back on track here. App locked up on me for a second. Let's get this guy loaded up. Suppose he actually has more than half the firepower of a Rhino. Yeah, never been good at math, but that looks like 3/4 of the firepower of a Rhino and a shield. You know, I hope these Punishers are good because I've always liked the look of these weapons. I've always thought that this is a really cool weapon. They were fun in the lower tiers. And you just can't help but love all those barrels poking out. Just absolutely spitting hot lead at the enemy. But they've kind of been relegated to uselessness over the last, year or so with all the workshop weapons. So we'll give these guys a go here. I'm sure once we get into the server, we're going to see all rockets probably, as so many people don't seem to actually test what's being tested. They seem to kind of just run the stuff that they don't yet have access to and kind of have fun with that. I want to kind of actually see how some of this stuff works. So, okay, I think we've got everything's set up here. We can test the ballistic weapons you see here, the new robots, some ones that we're more familiar with, and then some new configurations that we can play with thanks to the speed increase on the pretty much all the heavies and all the mediums except for a few of them. Alright, so let's get into a match here and see what happens with this thing. They seem to have added a new almost sonar or radar-like sound effect there. Not really sure why that was necessary, but whatever. So let's go with something quick here. Maybe grab a couple of beacons. And okay, it's like a giant squad of Furies. Got the super fast aiming in play again. That's something they have been using that lately on the last few servers, and it's not something I'm a big fan of because it is so quick. It makes it particularly difficult. And I'm already getting lit up. Wow, that was half my bot right there. Okay. Oh, right. Okay, not off to a good start here. Yep. Yep. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, see, this is kind of what I was talking about, where pretty much everybody's like, hey, I don't have enough gold to get a Fury, but I can get it on test server, so let me load up triple everything, and then this kind of becomes a long-range game, and it makes it kind of hard to even really move around here. I like the handling of this medium. I can kind of speed him up here, and then when I come to these little open danger areas here, I like the ability to deploy the shield and maneuver sideways, or I should say with my torso rotated. Yeah, I am getting eaten alive by this guy with the tridents. So shield saved me from that Zeus there, but just can't suck up all this splash damage. And these Punishers are still taking a long time to kill anything. I think I got that guy. I'm on a reload now. I better get out of the way. Oh, I see. I've got some crippled legs here. Let's get these Punishers back in the fight. Not a big fan of the aiming. It's really difficult to kind of dial it in at range. It seems though this may be the one that they tested a few weeks ago, where they actually made it like basically the faster you turn it, the faster it goes. The slower you turn it, the slower it goes. So if you make very precise, small adjustments to your aiming or your scroll speed or whatever you want to call it, then it will turn very slowly. Unlike previous installments on test server where it was just crazy fast all the time. It was just horrible. All right, little guy, you got to let me get in there so I can fire. All right, that's not good now. That's great. Okay. Got hooked up pretty good by that guy. Unfortunately, the entire team wants to get through this one gap right here. Let's see if I can get a little fire on that guy there. Did a little bit of damage, I think. Go ahead and make the sacrifice for the center beacon here, since I got some other people for these guys to shoot at. You can see it gets, when the precision long-range aiming is a little squirrely. I don't know. I know some people like this. I'm hoping ultimately they have talked somewhat about doing user adjustable parameters here. for like your aiming speed, aiming sensitivity, what have you. Managed to get this bot a lot further than I thought I was going to get him. Oh, look at this here. Getting lit up from the side here pretty good. And of course, he's got a shield that's just going to eat up all my rockets. Let's go to something else. Let's see how fast I actually haven't played with the Carnage since they actually increased his speed, not just decreased the duration of the sprint cooldown. They also actually increased his speed, and man, is he quick. I've played against them. I've not actually run one. So we're actually kind of getting to test quite a bit here. Getting my shield eaten up pretty good here. Not really an effective range there for that guy. Not sure what happened to that guy. Just catching the backside of that guy just a little bit. Let's oh, he came back in here. Uh-oh. There went the shield saving me, but I can't really can't seem to finish this guy off here. Catching two of these, what are they called? Fujins or something? Triple orcs. Not really going to stand up to 6 orkans maxed for too long here. But I tell you what, this guy right here is a lot quicker than he was. And here we go, Afterburners Goose. Pretty cool little effect there. He is his base speed, man, he is quicker than he was. I think this thing is going to this is going to be a nice little bot here. If I actually was smart enough to mount a heavy hardpoint weapon on this thing, that guy probably would have been done already, but I thought I'd be different and put a shield on here. So the aiming, I'm kind of just squeezing with my thumb a little bit to kind of change the pressure on this thing I'm putting on it. So that guy with the triple orcan already annihilated my shield on this thing. So much for the Ansel. Yeah. Alright. So there's one match down. And, yeah, we did no damage at all. So, that's a pretty pathetic effort on my part. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, alright. That went okay, I suppose. Yeah, I tell you what, that Lancelot, this guy right here, that may be worth the purchase ever since they bumped up the speed last week. That might be worth the purchase. I also really liked how the Galahad handled. I'm actually strangely not a fan of the light one. I'm actually one of the guys that really likes light bots and runs them quite a lot, usually Gepards, Stalkers. Maybe the Gareth, I just haven't gotten the hang of him yet. Being is that, you know, maybe he's, let's see, not quite as fast as, well, I don't know, that's pretty fast. 60 kilometers an hour, that's almost as fast as a Stalker. Just a learning curve, I suppose, when to employ the shield and when to take advantage of his speed, because he definitely has a lot of it. Let me see, I didn't really look at the speed on this one. 50 kilometers an hour, and that's a lot of hit points too for a medium. Let's take a look at this guy. Yeah, that 30 kilometers an hour, I tell you what, that was nice. And then you hit that little Top Gun afterburner, and he gets a pretty big boost. The Ansel shield did not really serve me very well, I don't think. I think still too many people are using plasma. And that triple Orkin shredded that shield in a matter of seconds anyways. So maybe we'll find something to kind of complement it here. Let's get crazy. Let's put a Zeus on it. Just to give us a little little closing, or I should say a little range while we're closing. Maybe just a couple little love taps as we close the distance and move in to finish them off with the turns. Let's try to get another match going here. The accelerated firing rate, I could kind of tell, especially on the Punishers, really kind of get going. And it was putting out some damage. I mean, I think I did get a bot or two with that, but it does take a little bit, even with that accelerated rate, to knock all that health down. On so many of these bots have so much health now. Let's start with this little guy again and see if we can have a better showing than last time. Let's just go run get this far beacon real quick. And this Carnage is going to leave me in the dust here as he sprints off, and I'll catch him here in a second. Honestly, not too much faster. He's not getting away from me like I thought he might. And then I'll pass him up here. So this little guy, he does have really decent speed. Let's get the shield up in case anybody wants to take a long range shot at me here. We'll head over to the center beacon, and I will shoot my gun unnecessarily just to get this unhelpful help screen off of my display. Let's see what we got up here. Guy's undercover there. People can't resist the triple Zeus. It's amazing. It is totally amazing. Oh, good grief. Of course, you know, I've got weapons with like 800-meter range, and out of force of habit, I close to within like 50 meters because that's how intelligent I am. Got this guy saying hello. Soaking up all them rounds into that physical shield. Ooh, and I'm on a reload already. Wow. Tell you what, that's something to watch for right there. That went really quick. I think somebody is annoying the hell out of me with the Hydra. Little distraction there, and we're going to try to get back in this fight here. And then this is another good thing about these bots is I can kind of like, if I feel like, okay, I see that guy with the triple Zeus over there, I can just kind of swing that shield into place. Slows me down a little bit. I can also bring it to face this guy who's just, you know, just sitting over there, just looking for somebody vulnerable to dump those two trebuchets into, like he just did, but he caught the shield. I suppose I should shoot that guy, huh? Yeah, you can see that thing ramped up big time. And, you know, we're on the... I think we're doing damage, honestly, I don't know. His health hasn't moved. And I guess we're going to test how well these work against the physical shield. Go ahead and run this out and let's get a reload. I mean, we should be in range pretty good. I don't see that guy's health moving too much, though. I mean, it's moving a little bit. At 300 meters, you would think this would be a little more effective. But he can pretty much... It's annoying him, but it's not really killing him. The shield is nicely catching those rockets. I don't know if you guys can see that. I should probably not let that guy shoot me, though. The shield is pretty nicely catching those rockets. Catching those rockets right on the front of the shield. Not hurting me too bad, considering that I'm standing in the open. But I thought maybe I should capture this beacon. Let's get out of the way of those. And those. And let's try to finish this guy. And we're eating that other rhino's organs, unfortunately. But we did get the center beacon. Put this guy in between us real quick while I do my reload. I'm probably not going to make the reload. So let's try something else. Let's run this big one. This will be a good opportunity to compare to rhino speed with my little sprint on here. And you, sir, over there, I have to give you a shame on you, because I've not seen you really do a whole lot. And you're kind of just sitting there, not really helping your team too much. And, I mean, aren't you bored? You have got to be bored. I mean, you're just kind of sitting over there. There's not much to shoot at. I just really think that you should go get a different bot and actually, let's just go ahead and jump in and play. Okay, I ate, what did I eat there? I ate some, yeah, eating this guy's aphids. See if we can, not really cracking this guy's shield. Might as well focus on somebody we can actually hurt. Yeah, let's focus on this guy. Alright, that worked out alright. Oh goodness. Yeah, that felt good. What is that, like a quad aphid pattern or something? I'll probably get this guy to move. He's probably not going to like this too much. Yeah, real good tracking on my part there. That guy, I thought he was undercover, but I'm nicking him a little bit there. Let's rush over there, shall we? Oh, he's in between a rock and a hard place there. Pinned in between me and a rhino. Oop, I got this guy fresh out of spawn. I'm not really conscious of it until just now, but I think that that physical shield that they give you is absorbing a lot of this damage. I got all plasma in front of me right here, and you can see my health. Until I get the splash damage there, my health wasn't really taking much of a beating. Let's try a little range here. This guy's almost in range. I put a little bit of hurt on him. Go look over here. And hey, buddy, you're still there. You're still not really playing. Not really sure how that's any fun at all, but to each his own. Let's put a little hate on that guy. That was okay. Let's see if we can get a reload here. Totally missed on that last shot. We're actually losing this game, unfortunately. I thought we were winning this thing. I'm not sure what happened. Okay, got that guy. Yeah. Alright. Well, the moral victory of this game may have to be the fact that that guy with a huge name over there had to run and get a different bot. Oh, that's not good. That was a triple something. Oh, yeah. Took that right on the chin. Mm-hmm. That didn't go too well. Alright. Let's see if I can do anything productive to try to save this game. They're meching out here. See if I can sprint over here and maybe get the center beacon. But of course, here comes old Triple Zeus. Or whatever it is he's got, I'm not actually sure. Maybe that's not the Zeus. Let's try to get into effective range. Oh, nope. Huh. Almost had that. Alright. Did okay, I guess. And then we can see that guy down there. He did some damage. He got a couple kills there. And Chorizo Flaccido, or in English, that's Flaccid Sausage. He had a pretty good game. So congratulations, Flaccid Sausage. Let's move along here. Let's try to get one more in. I'd like to try to get the Gareth to live more than a minute and a half. Yep, they definitely added a little sonar/radar sound effect. Don't really think that's necessary, but a little atmospheric ambiance. So I think we've gotten at least a couple of good examples here of some of these new things and maybe the effectiveness we can expect from them. And I gotta say I'm liking these new bots more and more. The more that I do them, run them on test server. The four-legged bots I was actually not a big fan of. I know they got a speed boost, so that probably makes them a little more fun to run. They were a little slow for me. I don't actually even have them. If I get one, it would probably be that medium. But I gotta say, these ones, I'm liking the... oh, sorry, buddy. I'm liking the play style. I'm liking the hard points that they're offering us. Interesting combinations there. Not really doing a lick of damage to any of these guys, interestingly enough. Just putting all kinds of hate on that Griffin there, and I mean, he's hitting me a lot harder than I'm hitting him. And he's actually in a crossfire. I'm on a reload again. Got the light one back up. So got him to retreat a little bit, but I don't think that was too much thanks to me. So I don't know. You can see here, obviously, this is probably not the weapon combo you want to run with this guy. Since he's a sprinter. And I'll sprint for that center beacon right now. Let's go ahead and run this out, get the reload. Oh, and of course, as soon as I hit into center, here comes Rhinos on Parade 2016 here. Maybe I'll live long enough to get the beacon. Oh, yeah, I did. Now, this is a cool feature, too, with the way that these new guys work, and I think this will be particularly effective on the medium. Basically retreating You went out there, you got that center beacon, and then you just basically walk backwards, fall back, and utilize that shield as protection. Gonna be pretty cool. Let's see, where do I want to go here? Let's go back to this. I'm liking this guy. Kind of liking this guy. This right here, he's lumbering. He's about the width of a city block, but kind of fun. And since they made him a little quicker, what do we got right there? All right, taking all that on the chin, trying to line that guy up. Let's give him another one of these. They retook that center right from me. And of course I managed to move into center with their whole team coming after me. So that didn't go so good. Not sure how that went so poorly. We were doing a lot better than that. Man, caught the edge of one of those tridents and it ate half my shield. That's I feel like I never seem to get those kind of effects. I feel like that always kind of goes the other way on me there. I'm just going to say the hell with it, and I'm going to spring out here for this center beacon. And of course my rhino partner went down the second that I got out here exposed on my own. Yeah, alright. It's a long range man's game here in the battle for Shinzen. But we did manage to retake that center beacon, which is, what makes some of these maps so much fun to play on. And here they come pushing back out for it. Probably want to use the shield since the developers gave it to me. Let's see if I can punish that guy right there. No pun intended. Or was it? Come on, give me some love here. Increased firing rate, whatever you are. Oh, yeah. Eating all that guy's rockets there. And after about 4 minutes, finished off that other guy. So this guy's, okay, I see what, okay, it's one of the heavies with organs and a thunder. Whew, that didn't go well. Probably not the bot you want to finish up on. To try to mount a comeback. But this old girl's got new life thanks to that speed increase. And they retook the center beacon from us again. I'm not really sure. I don't see my team up to a whole lot here. I'm not really sure what they're up to. And then there goes that squirrely aiming again, caused me to basically throw most of those shots away. Timed that pretty well. Missed him with my pins. I caught him with the tridents, and that's about all she wrote right there. That was a very, very poor game. So interesting setup there for this guy. A couple of Tulumbuses and a trident. Not a bad way to do it, honestly. It's a lot of firepower. I think that was somewhat effective. Probably not something I'd run, but he may just be testing stuff out too. So looks like we're having a real hard time kind of holding that center beacon. some of these guys, you can tell they do not seem to be having any issues with the increased sensitivity on the aiming. Like I said earlier, I believe they have mentioned that they are looking at making it user adjustable, which would be great for me because I really don't do well with the super sensitive controls. I actually kind of like them a little bit dialed down. Helps me kind of aim. But we'll see how it goes. We'll get what we'll get. That's one of the important things about making sure you send in your feedback if you are on test server, or leave them some comments on their social media. They seem to be pretty good about reading those. There we got one brave fellow there retaking that center, causing this guy to miss all over the place. And unfortunately, he's got plasma, so that shield on the Lancelot there is soaking up most of that. Ate those Telumbuses and got him. Yep. Everybody loves the Furies. I've got one. I bought it a long time ago. It's not maxed. I should probably work on that, especially because it's faster now, but I think that was the main reason that people didn't really use them all that much. I feel like we could still win this game, but maybe that's just the optimist in me. This guy in this Lancelot is having no problems. Not sure how much health he has left or anything, but he's done a pretty good job of making people pay coming into the center. Yeah, the optimism's starting to fade a little bit here. Alright, it was a pretty good match. A lot of carnage. And they really put the wood to us on that one. Did not have a good game on that. Woo! Gonna have to edit that out, I think. That's pretty embarrassing. Not really sure what I did wrong there. Alright, I think we're gonna wrap things up right there. We can might come back and run some different bots here on another video. But that covers the gist of what they were looking to test this weekend. We got the ballistic weapons. We checked those out. We looked at the increased damage to the physical shields. It's kind of hard to gauge, kind of hard to put a metric on that. And we like the new robots. I'm not sure if those first two items are really going to cause us to go away from plasma rockets and some of the other weapons that everyone prefers. But I don't know. We'll give them some feedback and see what they have to say, what they decide to change or tweak, and take it from there. Okay, so that'll be it for this video. Appreciate you watching. Hopefully you got some good information out of it, and I will see you next time at the Center Beacon.